Hey everyone! If you've ever spent months diligently studying Portuguese, only to step off a plane in Rio or São Paulo and feel completely lost, well, this explainer is absolutely for you. Today, we're diving into the frustrating but honestly deeply fascinating gap between the formal textbook language you learned and the real, street-level way Brazilian Portuguese is actually spoken. Now, why don't Brazilians sound like your Portuguese textbook? It's a scenario, honestly, every single language learner knows. You master the written rules, you get the vocabulary down perfectly, but then a native speaker opens their mouth and it sounds like a totally different language. It all comes down to pace. Words just bleed together in ways that standard classroom audios simply doesn't prepare you for. The reality of spoken Brazilian Portuguese can basically be summed up by a single word: rápido, fast. When Brazilians speak quickly, the primary goal is conversational efficiency. Words are heavily shortened, syllables get dropped, and separate words are seamlessly combined. And, it isn't sloppy speech at all. It's just a natural prioritization of speed and flow. Okay, let's dive into this first section, the Quay clusters. Notice the sheer phonetic contrast here. If you're reading directly from your textbook, you carefully pronounce o que você está fazendo. But listen to the way it's actually spoken in real life. Que você está fazendo? It's completely rapid fire. The formal o que você quer becomes a lightning-fast que você quer, and o que é que você vai fazer transforms instantly into que você vai fazer. Notice that repetitive pattern? The phrases o que você or o que é que você almost always collapse into this ultra-efficient rhythmic prefix, que você. Once you catch that cluster, a massive portion of spoken Portuguese just unlocks for you. Moving right along to section 2, shrinking the verbs. Let's look at some rapid contractions. Take the formal phrase, for example, eu não sei, meaning I don't know. 3 distinct separated words. But the short form? Não sei. That's literally it. 3 words shrink down into a quick 2-syllable blur. The pronoun you just melts away, and the negative no fuses right into the verb. The speaker is in such a hurry to tell you they don't know, they just skip pronouncing the entire sentence. And we see the exact same thing happening with just everyday check-ins. The textbook asks, está tudo bem? Is everything well? But in practice, that starting verb, está, loses its opening vowels entirely just for the sake of efficiency, leaving us with a punchy, direct, tá tudo bem. It's a tiny deletion, sure, but it makes the phrase roll off the tongue so much faster. Let's trace the evolution of the phrase, let me see. It's almost like a linguistic puzzle. In step 1, we have the formal, textbook way, deixa eu ver. In step 2, the speed picks up, the vowels start to bleed together and the edges get kind of soft, deixa eu ver. And finally, step 3, the ultimate contracted slang, chover. No way, right? The 3 original words completely transform into a single 2-syllable sound. Section 3, sound like a local. Let's talk about putting this into practice. As our source material advises, want to sound more like a local? Start practicing these contractions today. And honestly, that is the direct challenge for you. Take these linguistic artifacts right out of this explainer and begin practicing them in the real world immediately. Don't be afraid to sound a little informal, because that is exactly how the language is lived and breathed by natives every single day. Which brings us to our final thought for today. Which contraction are you going to try first? Are you going to hit someone with a lightning-fast que está fazendo? Or maybe a super smooth chove when you're looking at a menu? Pick one, get out there, and test out your new ultra-efficient vocabulary. Thanks so much for joining us. Now go out and speak like a local.